What's up, guys? This is a very special episode because it is number 10. Oh my gosh.
We have
so
done
awesome.
this for 10 weeks.
Yes.
Thank you guys for keep coming back and to tuning in.
And your comments and your support and your love is flowing in, and it is just like driving this because we are just doing this because we feel so passionate about it. And what?
I was just gonna say, we didn't really even know like how many, we'd have no idea of how many episodes we wanted to do. We just kind of had this idea to like start sharing our story, and now here we are in the flow of it 10 episodes later, and it's kind of cool.
Something that I always have wanted to put on camera or on documentation for myself, and as I started writing a lot of it, I realized I couldn't write as fast as my brain was going. And so whenever we started this YouTube channel, I was like, what a better platform to maybe help one person, or you know, that's what everybody says, and that is so true. Like,
totally.
If one person gets something out of this, and what a better way than to document our story than this way. So
yeah. So we are wearing the same outfits as we had last week, and the reason for that is that we
just kept rolling. We weren't talking enough.
We kept rolling because okay, that was a long one.
We didn't talk enough in the last one.
But I think it was really a powerful episode, and so I hope that you felt the same way. But we're shooting this one. We're continuing to roll because next week my sister and her husband are coming to visit us in Seattle.
It's gonna be awesome.
We are gonna have the most epic time, and so obviously we're not gonna be filming or anything. So we wanted to get this out to make sure we get out the next video. So
actually, you just said. Oh yeah.
Oh my god, it would be the 11th. Oh no, never mind.
Yeah,
Just
so
kidding.
technically when we give you this, they're already here. So we're playing around in Seattle. Like we're hanging out having a good time. So
we're like drinking beer.
But anyway, with that being said, if you have not seen the other episodes and you feel led to go and catch up, then we will link them at the top of the screen. You can click there and catch up. If you're back for the other episode and you've been watching, so awesome, we can't thank you enough.
Mimi.
So I wanted to start off this episode because the last, was it 2 episodes? Yeah,
it was the Kim show.
I basically had some
He's a
input,
good hype man.
But you know, I really wanted to start this off because this was something that I feel really passionate about, and I've actually seen this from other husbands, boyfriends, fiancés who I've spoken with that have had similar issues. And the one thing that I wanted to drive home was Kim that was a rock bottom. That was scary. She was in a bad place. I knew that from the beginning, and I was there to support her. And pushing all my stuff aside and all the things that I just, you know, wanted to just lash out, and something higher power, I didn't know at the time. I mean, I had a religious background, but I claim that, you know, God was giving me strength to hang on to this, but I knew that I had to support her with whatever that was. If that was her kicking and screaming on the ground while I'm like holding her, then that's what I needed to do. And I just needed to be that rock of support, even though now I know sitting here in front of you that I didn't even have my shit together at all. Yeah. But at that time I had what I needed to give her. And that's what I always say, if your wife, girlfriend, whatever, boyfriend, whatever it is going through a tough time, sometimes you got to put your stuff aside and be there to support them if you see that they're in such a bad place, you know, with disease or with, you know, other things like that. Being there just to hug them and tell them you love them and support them is the best medicine to do. And if she chose not to go on that journey, then I would have had to make a decision that I can't live like this anymore. But I was ready to fight. I made that point from the beginning. I want to fight for this relationship because I know the true her. Yeah. And I'm going to fight as much as I can until I cannot fight anymore. And then that's when I'm going to have to make a decision for that.
Yeah, no, that's really a great point. And I think the other big takeaway is that when your partner is going through something like I was, like Erran didn't make it about him. He didn't make it about, it wasn't a personal attack. Like he said, he saw the real me, and he had the strength in him and the love in him to support me because that's what I needed at the time. And he took himself out of it. You know, I feel like you were really good at just kind of like taking yourself out of it. And when I'm like punching and screaming and crying and telling him I'm leaving and all this stuff, like he just comforted me. He calmed me down. He gave me exactly what I needed, which was love in that moment. And that is something I am so grateful for, because I've just had the most incredibly supportive partner. Like, you've been so supportive, and
well, it came back around.
Well, and I just want to say one more thing, is that the most important thing is that he gave me space to grow. Like, he supported me and loved me, and when I was ready to turn my life around and to really move forward, he gave me space to figure it out. He gave me space to be on an individual journey, to grow, to find myself, right? And I was finding myself within a relationship, which sometimes can be tough to do because the other one sees the other one growing, and then that turns into this whole thing. But he just let me be, and he like encouraged me and just gave me this container, and he held me in it and just allowed me to blossom and to grow. And I'm so grateful, because it was such a, like, you've just always been supportive, and I don't think I could have done it without your support. God put you in my life to be there to help me, right? To support me, to love me, to kind of allow me to take those steps. And so it's really beautiful, and I just hope all partners can really be that support system for each other. And
that's kind of a good segue into this episode, because yes, I was there to support her, and I wasn't just this angel dancing around the house, like giving her hugs when she was going crazy. I had my outbursts as well, because I battled anger and different things like that, but there was just something in me that was just like, we'd get to a point and I would just be like, this has got to stop, because it was stupid battling over a radio station that she would just blow up and it would turn it. So it's like, we've already said that, and so those were the kind of moments that I knew, like, I have to take myself out, like Kim said. But little did I know it was chipping away at me, very slowly. And the thing is from 7 to 3 I was at work, and I didn't know what she was doing. And honestly, if she would have told me that she was going on this journey, any way to get the devil out of the house, that she
that's horrible.
I would have done. No, but anyway, I started to slowly see this change, right? And when I saw this change, we would have these arguments. And how I knew...
We need to set the timer.
Oh, shoot. I'm so sorry. We're going to set the timer.
Let's just set it for like 4 minutes.
We'll set it for 4.
Because we've been talking and we forgot to set the timer.
4 minutes.
Okay.
So how I knew that I had so much resentment and build up hate in a way towards the situation, again, nothing personal towards her, just towards these situations, was Kim started to become more gentle during arguments. We still had our arguments, we still had our battles, we were still developing. You just don't wake up the next.
Yeah, it was a freaking learning curve, and we were trying to like figure it out, and we still have issues. I just want to say this real quick, then you can go. But like, just because you begin a path to become a better version of yourself doesn't mean that it just becomes rainbows and butterflies. Yeah. This is, we're wrapping this up in a matter of a quick, video, but this is years and years and years and years, and we are giving you the quick version, but this was years. So we're still on a freaking
basically telling
journey.
This episode through a 2-year span.
Yeah, for sure.
Just to keep
just to
fast
put it
forwarding.
in perspective.
Yeah. So
journey.
How I knew was we would get in these arguments, and all of a sudden Kim would be gentle, right? Like, I don't want to be doing this, and then all of a sudden the words would come up. Oh, you're so good now. Oh, you've got it all figured out, don't you? Oh yeah, like, you used to do all this stuff, and now I'm the one that's bad. I was there supporting you. Who the hell are you now to tell me how I should be thinking and how I should be doing? And then it would just
You're the one who's crazy.
Yeah, you're the freaking one that's nuts and like whatever, psychotic and jealous and all these things. And I would just start boom, boom, boom. And it was all of that coming back up because I had so many issues. And again, Kim said earlier that I was here to support her, but I also believe in hindsight, looking back at it, I always thought I never had any issues.
Yeah.
For some reason, and little did I know.
You weren't in tune with that at that point.
I wasn't in tune. I just thought, I just did my thing, and this is the way it was, and whatever. And it showed me that there was a lot of deep-seated things that needed to come up, and Kim triggered that, and it came out later.
To say the least.
And so we were going through this, and again, like, I had hobbies, I had things that I did, and thank God I'd go play softball, and I used to love the, what's up?
I was just gonna say that was another issue, like, because I was trying to find my own hobbies and things that I enjoyed and things that I loved. He, you know, loved playing the guitar and singing and playing bass or softball. He'd want to go and do all these things, and instead of me just being like, go have fun, honey, like go play your guitar, do your thing, and I'll go do my own thing and whatever, we'll meet up later. I was like jealous that he was doing his own thing and be like, don't
you need to quit.
Yeah, because I was relying on him again because I didn't have my own thing going on. I was relying on him for all my entertainment and stuff like that. So that also caused some friction too.
Well, and because of that friction, we actually, again, what we were really good at was we'd have these knockout brawls on Saturday night, and then Sunday we would wake up and we'd talk about it. And one of the things we came to was we realized that we needed to develop hobbies together.
Separately and together.
Yeah, we needed to have things that we love to do as individuals, but also things that we could come together and do instead of just sitting there watching TV or going out partying with friends.
Something that was like healthy for our relationship.
Yes. Now, at this time, you know, Kim and I ate really bad.
We were overweight.
We were overweight.
Really
I was pushing like 250, which is crazy at the time. I can't believe that. Looking back on pictures, I was just like, wow. I ate fast food and Butterfinger Flurries or Sonic Blast every night. I drank like 7 or 8 regular sodas a day. I drank alcohol. I was a mess, and so that was all contributing as well. And
I was overweight, you know, I was like 15 pounds heavier, but I had no muscle tone. Like I didn't take care of myself. I lived on like pizza and like rice-a-roni, and we were both just incredibly unhealthy together, and we had created these unhealthy behaviors together, and we would overeat and we would drink and we would do all these things. And so we realized that we needed to make some changes for ourselves, for our lives, for our relationship, for our bodies. We just wanted to really transform our lives and become healthier in a whole. Yeah. In a whole. Like we knew that it was time to kind of make some changes, and so we should probably just leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that, because there was one day in particular that stands out. It was the day that we decided to turn everything around, and this is where our story gets a lot of fun.
Yeah, things get really real.
But it was basically to a point where our marriage is not going to survive if we do not develop some sort of healthy outlet together that we can do for ourselves and for each other, because it cannot go on like this anymore. And so it's kind of where we will leave it here. It was a shorter episode, thank God. But episode 11, we'll get into a very pivotal point that Kim and I actually started a business on.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. This is a big one. This was a game changer, and you know, I kind of had my pivotal moment within myself where I was like, you know, I got to make some serious changes in my life because I can't live like this. And this was kind of the pivotal moment within our relationship that we were like, it's like either we need to not be together anymore, something has to change, what's the next step? And so next episode we'll get into the steps that we took together, and it's completely kind of cool.
Turned around. It is really cool. So I'm excited about next episode. But again, we're enjoying ourselves in Seattle, even though you see us on a couch.
You're having so much fun.
We're having fun. Anyway, so we will. That was weird. Fun. Yeah, that was bizarre. I don't know where that came from.
Like the R&B rapper. Yeah, like there's a lot of things that are coming up.
But anyway, we will see you again next week.
Like,
we love you guys.
Subscribe, comment, share with your friends. Let's share the love. Put this out there, and thank you for supporting us and watching us, and we love you, and we will see you
next week.
Bye.
Oh, wow.